Hello and welcome to the final event in the Holidays in Historic Frederick series, the Festival of Lights, presented tonight by Friends Meeting School. I'm Melissa Joseph Muntz, Festival of Lights Chair and Master of Ceremonies. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce the individuals and groups who have joined together to make tonight's program so special. Alderwoman and President Pro Tem-elect Katie Nash, the Frederick Children's Chorus, who will be leading our caroling and performing this evening, Chris Kimberly, representing Friends Meeting School, Mr. Rick Weldon for sharing the inspirational message tonight, the City of Frederick, and the Holidays in Historic Frederick Committee of Celebrate Frederick. I'd also like to extend a special thank you to our sponsor for this evening's event, Friends Meeting School. It's now my pleasure to introduce Alderwoman Katie Nash, who will give us a little background on how this festival came to be.
Thank you, Melissa. Now, some might wonder how the Festival of Lights came to be in Frederick. This community gathering here in the courtyard of City Hall began over 30 years ago by Julia Hanna, who was concerned that the world was losing sight of the real meaning of Christmas. She encouraged area residents to display single white candles in their windows to bring back the feeling of an old-fashioned Christmas and focus on the warmth and fellowship of the season. She encouraged community togetherness, and the Candlelight Festival has begun. Since that time, the tradition has evolved into this ecumenical gathering. When it began, there were only about 20 people who attended, and over the years, the numbers have grown, and tonight, the response is inspirational.
Thank you, Katie. I'd now like to introduce Chris Kimberly, head of school at Friends Meeting School, to deliver a special message for us this evening.
Thank you. Good evening, friends. If we could, let's begin with a period of silence. Thank you. Whether you felt at home with that silence or perhaps even a little awkward, it allowed you to perhaps notice things that you weren't noticing before. Maybe things stood out to you about the building, or you heard a sound behind you, or maybe you became more aware of the people standing around you. It played an important role for each of us. It helped us enter this moment. And with more awareness, perhaps even more balance. Silence plays a critical role at Friends Meeting School. As the only Quaker school in Frederick County, we recognize that silence and reflection, particularly when it happens within community, as it has tonight, can play a powerful role in one's learning and development of self-awareness. Quakers have known this for close to 400 years. It's appropriate that I share this with you at tonight's Festival of Lights because there's a connection between light and silence. Quakers believe there's a divine spark within each of us, and silence helps us center, helps us connect with our inner light. And it creates space for us to notice and appreciate the light from within others, something that Friends Meeting School sees as a critical part of its focus on whole child education. You should know that noise also plays a role at our school. My office is located in the lower school with grades kindergarten through 4, and if anyone has forgotten what joyful noise sounds like, I encourage you to visit. Play, inquiry, and exploration are integral to the students' learning experience, whether in our classrooms or out in the woods of our 54-acre campus. This is the same 54 acres that houses our outdoor classroom, varsity soccer field, and school farm. Whether you're a new kindergartner or a senior looking back on your decades plus of growth, you're a person who knows that you're valued for who you are. You know you belong because our welcoming community doesn't impose hurdles to fitting in. You know that you have the support to take risks on the stage, in the wood shop, on the field, and that some of your most important learning will happen when you when you make a mistake, taking those risks. At Friends Meeting School, we know that learning happens best when you feel connected to your peers and seen by your teachers. I'm grateful to be here with the Frederick community to experience tonight's light and sound, the beautiful holiday lights and harmony of the choral groups. And anyone who's curious about how light, sound, and community play integral roles in a child's learning, I invite you to visit us at Friends Meeting School. Thank you.
It is now my honor to introduce Mr. Rick Weldon, our inspirational speaker for this evening. Rick is the president and CEO of the Frederick County Chamber of Commerce. Prior to his employment with the Chamber, Rick has served as a public administrator in the City of Frederick and the City of Brunswick, a member of the Board of County Commissioners of Frederick County, and as a two-term member of the House of Delegates representing Southern Frederick County and Southwestern Washington County. Rick also serves on the boards of several nonprofit corporations, including arts and health and human services organizations here locally. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Rick Weldon.
Good evening, Frederick. It's a great honor for me. I've had the chance to be here and participate twice in the last 20 years, and it's a great honor. I want to thank Jan and the team at Celebrate Frederick because I have an inkling of knowledge about how much work it goes into pulling off a wonderful community event like this. Tonight we gather in our historic downtown, in this beautiful public space, to celebrate a season of peace and joy. We come from all backgrounds, beliefs, and ethnicities, but we share one incredibly important common interest. It's a common interest that I want to speak, it's that common interest that I want to speak about tonight. We share our common humanity. We can, and we do, often disagree on all manner of things, but through it all, what we share is far greater and more valuable than when we differ. At times such as we've recently been living through, it's understandable that hope and optimism feel like a distant goal. But all around us, acts of charity and generosity abound. We're working together to feed the hungry, to house the homeless, and to support and sustain the vulnerable. Government, my friend Katie, has dedicated her adult life to these pursuits. My friend Melissa runs a nonprofit that deals with students facing homelessness. But governments, nonprofits, churches, and businesses in Frederick work every single day to lighten the load and ease the burdens of vulnerable people. I've traveled throughout all of Maryland, yet rarely have I encountered the love, the care, and the compassion that we celebrate right here in Frederick. That spirit of caring and giving defines what's so special about this place, and it defines and describes our shared humanity. No judgment, no condescension, and no resentment, just a pure and simple recognition that when one has been blessed, the best use of that blessing is to share it with someone else. So for tonight, just this one moment in time, imagine if we were collectively able to embrace that common humanity. We know we love our families. We know that we all wish to avoid suffering, illness, and discomfort. We know that a smile from a stranger can warm the cold. We know that when we take care of someone who's vulnerable, our hearts fill with a sense of both accomplishment and joy. take a moment tonight, right now, to look around at those gathered for this Festival of Lights. What brought us here? A sense that we'd be buoyed and lifted by sharing a few special moments during this wonderful season. The idea that when we lift one another up, it makes us all just a little bit better. Let us, no matter who we are, what we believe, what language we speak, or who we love, let us acknowledge that on this night, in this place, we are all kind enough, gentle enough, and just plain good enough to see past our ideologies, our biases, and our own limitations to accept one another for who we really are, friends, neighbors, and fellow human beings. In a few moments, we'll share a light in the darkness. Each of us will hold a small flicker of candlelight, and the effect of the merging of all of those individual flames will illuminate the smiles and the twinkling eyes of fellow humans as we wander away, a song in our heart and the gift of our shared humanity as a reminder of this treasured holiday season. As we leave this place, and as our small candles eventually burn out, let that shared humanity be our perpetual light in the darkness, a little individual light that illuminates our paths in the days, weeks, months, and years ahead. Happy holidays, Frederick.
Thank you so much, Rick. And now, please welcome the Frederick Children's Chorus, led by Judy Dubose, who will be performing Let There Be Peace on Earth and Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree.
rocking, the house is rocking, everybody's rocking tonight.
We're rocking around the Christmas tree.
At the Christmas party hop, the house is rocking, mistletoe hung where you can see.
Every couple tries to stop.
There's just no stopping.
We're rocking around the Christmas tree.
Let the Christmas spirit ring. Let's keep it ringing. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing. Let's be jolly. Deck the halls with boughs of holly.
We're rocking around the Christmas tree.
The Christmas spirit ring. Let's keep it ringing. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way. The house is rocking. The house is rocking. Everybody's rocking tonight. Everybody's rocking tonight.
We're rocking around the Christmas tree.
Let the Christmas spirit ring. Let's keep it ringing. Then we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing. Let's be jolly. Deck the halls with boughs of holly.
We're rocking around the Christmas tree.
Every holiday, let's all be happy. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way. Everybody's rocking tonight. Let's rock!
Thank you for that lovely performance. I'd now like to invite everyone to join the chorus as we sing some classic holiday carols together. You can find the lyrics in your program.
Am I too tall? Is anything? Okay. I was worried that you couldn't see.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
We're going to go through this next little bit together, okay? Ready?
Snowflakes falling all over town, slipping, sliding, everybody rushing round. There's an icy chill in the air, telling us that winter's really here. Oh, I'm so glad that winter is here. Grab your sled and let out a happy cheer because it's snowing, blowing all through the day. Wind will surely blow all your cares away. Don't let anyone blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Roll it over all this land. I'm gonna let it shine. Hold it over all this land. I'm gonna let it shine. Hold it over all this land. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kid. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now bring us some figgy pudding. Now bring us some figgy pudding. Now bring us some figgy pudding and bring some right here. We won't go till we get some. We won't go till we get some. We won't go until we get some. Till bring it right here. All love figgy pudding. We all love figgy pudding. We all love figgy pudding. So bring some right here. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Singing better. They are.
Please remain standing as I invite Alderwoman Katie Nash to light tonight's first candle. Please share your flame with those around you once your candle is lit and join us in singing Silent Night.
And then there's like that little kid who's now in kindergarten. She had one of those like poster face.
Mr. Bose, is this your
And then
last
she
song?
moved away though. She's now in kindergarten.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Oh yeah, you can use your phone.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace.
On behalf of Celebrate Frederick, thank you for attending this year's Festival of Lights. Now please join me in a final thank you to everyone who helped make this event possible. Have a happy holiday.